Hi! So today's video was inspired by my niece Grace in California, who decided in the middle of all this corona to become a vegetarian. So you can imagine how much my sister loved that. She loves to cook meat, so they're looking for ideas. So this is for you, Gracie, and all the other vegetarians out there. Not just vegetarian, I'm not fully vegetarian, but I do love vegetarian dishes. So we're going to do a simple vegetable pancake. Have you ever heard the expression a chiffonade of basil or basil from my British friends? Have you ever wondered how to do a chiffonade? I'm going to show you. So you take your leaves and you put them all on top of each other. Try and get leaves roughly the same size. And then lengthwise, you're going to tightly roll them up. I did wash and pat dry these early on too. And then you hold it like that. I'm hoping you can still see what I'm doing. It's hard to know what angle here. And you're just going to make little thin cuts all the way through. And you end up with chiffonade. So it's like these little ribbons of basil leaves. It smells divine. So here in my bowl I have 1 cup of flour. I've used a mix of coconut flour, this is my coconut flour, and brown rice flour. You can also use chickpea flour, I just didn't have any today. Half a teaspoon of baking powder, and I have added a spoonful of turmeric. Oh, wrong one. Turmeric. So this is magical stuff, antioxidant, great at fighting any infection. Any chance I get to put turmeric in something, I hide it in soups, in stews, all kinds of things. And we're just putting some in here. I'm going to split the batter once it's made because we're going to do an Indian version and we're also going to do an Italian version. So mix up my dry ingredients and then we're just going to add 3/4 of a cup. Start mixing slowly until it starts incorporating. Just 3/4 of a cup of cold water. And keep mixing that until it's nicely incorporated. Yeah, so I had to get a little bit more flour. So I actually used a whole cup of water. Some of the flours take a little more water. To that, we're going to add 3/4 of a cup. No, sorry, not 3/4, 1/3. So it's been a long day. 1/3 of a cup of mashed sweet potato. I steamed some sweet potatoes, peeled them, and we add that into our mix. It's a beautiful color. We're going to add some, you can use cilantro, but I didn't have cilantro, so I've done chopped parsley. I'm going to switch to just a regular spoon. And you can see this consistency is sort of thick but still fluid. And you can use any vegetables you have in your house. So I'm adding some onion that I did saute a little bit just because I don't like raw onion. So we'll throw in the onion. This is some finely chopped up mushrooms. This is a really great recipe for picky eaters, kids that won't eat. I have some sweet corn. And mix that up. Make sure you mix everything well so you don't get clumps. And then some grated carrots. Lots of great goodness here. I love the vibrant color. And lastly, some spinach. You can get fresh spinach and wilt it down, or I'm using frozen spinach that I've just completely squeezed out most of the moisture. It's really important to do with frozen. So we're just going to mix all that in. And again, make sure you haven't got clumps. I'm just going to incorporate all of that. And at this point, I'm going to divide it into two because one is staying Italian and one is going to be more of an Indian flavor. Just roughly half. Give it all another mix up. And to my Indian one, I'm going to add a splash of curry powder. And this is probably, I don't know, half a teaspoon. Gives it a little extra flavor. It's a whole mix of wonderful Indian spices. And then my Italian one, I have that chippenade of fresh basil that's going to go in. And we're just going to use some dried Italian seasoning. And again, just a generous shake, I would probably say, and some salt and pepper in both of them. I always like to have fresh black pepper. And in Italian, we'll put a little sprinkle of garlic powder. I don't have any fresh garlic right now, so I'm just using this. And that is it for here. We're going to move over to the griddle. And I have this griddle, but you could also use a non-stick pan, and I'm just brushing a little bit of oil onto the surface so it doesn't stick. We're going to let those cook for about 3 minutes, flip them and do another 2 minutes. So flip one, and we'll flip this one. It doesn't matter if they don't stay perfectly, you just smush them back together. Looking good. Another 3 minutes on this side. And here you have our beautiful final plate of veggie fritters. So there you have it, just a quick recap. We cooked those fritters on a little light oil for 3 minutes one side, flip them, do them for another 3 minutes, and I found it better just to flip them back again and do a final minute on the original side. And I worked with some small ones and some bigger size. Definitely better to keep it small, easier to flip them and everything. And I'll let you into a little secret. That's the first time I made those. But they smell amazing and they taste delicious. I've been tasting them. Hopefully I haven't got spinach in my teeth. And like I say, it's a great way if you have picky eaters in the family, whether it's your kids or your hubby. I think even my oldest son would eat these. He always says the only green thing that ever goes in his mouth is green M&Ms. So he hates veggies, but I think he'd like these. And you can serve them as a side with some meat or some just fresh salad, nice crusty bread. Let me know how your family liked them. Enjoy.